Hi, everyone. I'm retired meteorologist Pat Prokop, and today is Saturday, the last day of November. And you know what that means? It means tomorrow's December 1st, but it also means tonight is the last night for the hurricane season. It expires as of midnight tonight. The hurricane season will be over. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the history of the hurricanes from 2024. But right now, we're looking at some very cold temperatures moving in across the region. And let's take a look at the map first of all. And across the country, there's snow falling across the middle portion of the nation and around the St. Louis metropolitan area, stretching into southern Illinois and southwest portions of Indiana. That's not going to be affecting us, but the cold air that's associated with that is driving southeastward, and that'll be pushing into our area. Looking at the advisories across the country this afternoon, if you're going to be traveling for tomorrow, getting back home or on Monday, there is some winter weather advisories in effect for the Ohio River Valley with that storm system up in the St. Louis area. Not a major storm right now, but perhaps 1 to 2 inches of snow in that area. And over in the Great Lakes, on the eastern side of the Great Lakes in Pennsylvania, over the extreme northeast portion of Ohio and western New York State, lake effect snows will be dropping over a foot of snow in some places, approaching 2 feet of snow over the next couple of days across those areas. And then across South Georgia and northern portions of Florida and southern Alabama, a freeze warning and a frost warning are in effect for our area. And so let's take a look at the forecast for our region. And for the night across the country, it's going to be a cold one. Temperature is going to be dropping down below freezing across most of the country for tonight and by Sunday morning, even into the northern portions of Florida, in and around Tallahassee. Temperatures will be right around the freezing mark. And then off to the far north, it's very cold, as they call it, 8 below cold, or 8 below zero across North Dakota and into more northern eastern portions of South Dakota. But for our area, let's take a look at our region right here. And for tonight, for Sunday morning, expect to see daybreak temperatures in and around the upper 20s to lower 30s. And that's everywhere west of the intracoastal waterway. On the beaches, it might be in the mid 30s for the daybreak temperatures. This is for Monday morning, Sunday night, actually tonight, Saturday night, Sunday morning, and then for the Sunday night, Monday morning, I'll get it right, Sunday night, Monday morning, a little bit warmer, still chilly, middle 30s in the greater Savannah area, right around the freezing mark, just a touch below in and around the Statesboro area. Hilton Head, about 38, 40 degrees there. But then for Monday night, Tuesday morning, looking at the map there, we're getting to chill down with another surge of cold air moving on in. Temperatures across a large portion of central Georgia in the middle 20s, upper teens perhaps in the northwest portions of Georgia. Here in southeastern Georgia and southern South Carolina, again, temperatures in the low to middle 30s near the coastal areas, 26 in the inland areas around Statesboro and Hinesville, Tattnall County, over in the Glenville, Reedsville area, Claxton, further south in and around the Brunswick, St. Simons area, above freezing there, but still cold. But the coldest of this surge will be coming in on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. So let's take a look at that map, and it's right here. And there we have it. Temperatures in the upper 20s, lower 30s in the Savannah area. Statesboro about 25 degrees. Middle to lower 20s across a large portion of the center and northwest and northern Georgia into South Carolina. Columbia 22 degrees. But then looking at the Wednesday night, Thursday morning forecast, it's going to be moderating considerably with lows in the lower 40s to middle 40s near the coast, middle 30s in the interior portions of southeastern Georgia, and then going in for one more day, the conditions for Thursday night, Friday morning, even warmer yet. So we're seeing a moderation of the temperature. So what we want to do is, if you have a garden like I do, as a matter of fact, I just picked this today. This head of broccoli, or what he called it, a bunch of broccoli, is going to be for the dinner tonight. Broccoli, the brassica plants, broccoli, cauliflower, collards, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, they don't mind this cold. They can deal with this, particularly in the Savannah area. I'm in the coastal areas where temperatures will be dropping into the 30s, lower 30s, maybe upper 20s. We're going to take a look at that in just a minute. But you might want to consider covering up some of those tender herb plants. I'm trying to grow some potatoes. Yeah, I'm crazy. Trying to grow some potatoes in December and January. With the option, I have the ability to put a thick cover over them like I just did this afternoon. The cabbage again and the broccoli and cauliflower, I'm not too concerned about them. And also for the tomato plants, I'm trying to grow some patio tomatoes, those little cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes. They're going to have to be protected. They don't like it below 35 degrees, chance of frost and freezing temperature. So I'm covering those up. I don't really need to bring them inside. I can bring them into the garage because they're in pots, but I don't need that tonight. If it's going to drop into the middle 20s, yeah, I'll need to do that, but it's not going to do that here. So I'm okay with the rest of my vegetation. All right. Let's take a look at the precision forecast from the National Weather Service. This is basically from the National Weather Service Charleston, a little bit from the Atlanta Peachtree City Forecast Center, and also from the Jacksonville Center, but mostly our area here. We're seeing in the greater Savannah area, Chatham County, temperatures dropping into the low 30s, upper 20s in the far western portions of Chatham County, in and around the Ogeechee River, Pooler, Bloomingdale, Savannah quarters, about 28 degrees. And then on Wednesday morning in the mid-20s to upper 20s there. Downtown Savannah looks like it's going to be in the middle 30s tonight, upper 30s on Monday morning, Sunday night, but then right around freezing on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. But as you go into interior Georgia, look at these temperatures here. They're down into the middle 20s all over the place. And some of the colder temperatures, 25 degrees at Pembroke, Newington, 25. What about Millen? Millen, same thing, 25 degrees. In the middle 20s for the next several days there. What about our friends in South Carolina? Looking at Hardeeville, 29 degrees. Again on Tuesday morning, Monday night, Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Hilton Head Island. Spanish Wells, middle 30s, upper 30s, looks like it's going to stay above freezing there. Sea Pines right there on the coast. You're going to be even warmer yet. Well, not as cold. And over in the South Carolina area of Ridgeland and interior portions of southeastern South Carolina, upper 20s, that makes sense, and middle 20s in and around the Hampton area. So yeah, it's going to be cold there. But what about looking ahead for the next 14 days, 15 days actually? This cold wave will be about it. Another surge of cooler air will come down next week, but not as cold. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s for that. That's December 12th and 13th. So we're seeing temperatures going to be moderating considerably thereafter. And I'm going to take a look at the 6-week outlook coming up shortly. But more importantly, the big news tonight is the end of the hurricane season. And looking at the tropical weather satellite view, there's nothing really going on. Yeah, it looks like something over here in the far eastern Atlantic, but that's just a cluster of showers, and that's being sheared already. No chance of that developing into anything major. I'm not expecting to see anything out of the Caribbean Sea. This system here, some folks are saying it could become Tony. I don't buy it. And elsewhere, it's relatively quiet, and it's going to hopefully stay that way. Even though, the month of December, you can't rule it out with the activity we've been having this year, and the water temperature is still rather warm in those areas. But right now, things are looking kind of on the quiet side, which is good news for us. Looking at the tracks from the hurricane from 2024 from the National Hurricane Center, there you can see all the storms. We had 15 storms, named storms. Actually, they're missing Sarah. The Yarstorm and Sarah is missing. Okay, but anyway, those are minor. Storms that we saw affecting our area here was Debbie, Helene, and Milton. Milton just grazed the area, but Hurricane Debbie did a tremendous amount of damage with the heavy rains that were associated with it, and also with the tropical system of Helene. Let's take a look at that. There's the track of Helene. Started in the extreme western Caribbean Sea and then moved through the Straits of Florida, hit that very warm water here in the southern portions of the Gulf of Mexico, and then moved northward and then really gained a lot of strength. Became a Category 4 hurricane up there in the upper Gulf of Florida, there between Apalachicola and the Florida Big Bend. And then it moved in across the interior portions of Georgia up into the extreme northeast portions of Georgia, and then curving to the northwest as a rain system, dumping tremendous amounts of rain across western North Carolina. Also, it did a really bad job with tornadoes and high winds across central and eastern Georgia. We saw a lot of tree damage associated with Hurricane Helene, but there was the track from that. But things are now quiet. Hurricane season is over. All right, let's take a look at the conditions for the next several days. We're going to see a lot of sunshine and clear skies at night. And as a matter of fact, last night was clear. And here's a picture I took from the telescope. And wow, look at that. That's the planet Jupiter. That's that very bright object shining up in the eastern sky now after sunset. That's the planet Jupiter, the fifth planet from the sun. It's the gas giant. That red spot is an ongoing hurricane. It's been going on for about 300 years. And how big is it, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. You can fit, if you could fit 2 Earths inside that giant red spot on the planet Jupiter. But anyway, that's that bright object shining up in the eastern sky after sunset, and then high overhead about 1 o'clock in the morning this time of the year. Let's take a look at the forecast. We're seeing I'm seeing clear skies through the period. I'm not seeing any precipitation. I'm not expecting anything. The big cold will be basically Monday night and Tuesday morning and Tuesday night. And then going into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we'll be warming up considerably. And then as we go into the outlook, of course, the next several days will be much below normal, and then slightly below normal for December 7th through the 13th, and then warming above normal for the middle portions of December, going into the Christmas week, going into the end of the year, and going into the beginning of 2025. Looks like mild temperatures. So if you do have a garden, like I do, it'll be worth your while to protect it over the next 4 nights. And then after that, it looks like we're going to be running some very great weather for winter gardening here in our area, southeast Georgia and southern South Carolina. All right, with that being said, I'm glad you joined me, and I appreciate all those who have helped support this channel, and I'll see you later.